थोड़ा साल पहले क्या था कि 50-60 उम्र के लोगों को होता था हेयर लॉस, सबको नहीं होता था. अभी एवरेज एज ऑफ पीपल हु आर गोइंग थ्रू हेयर लॉस आर इन दैट 26-27.
What is the root causes of hair loss?
Stress. If it is happening here or it is starting to happen here, then it is.
अरे भाई हेलमेट के लिए हेयर लॉस हो गया मेरा. So is it right that 5-6 hours in a day using helmet that could be a cause for the hair loss?
People who are suffering have put in so much money in oils, shampoos, hair masks. They have put onion on their head and what not. You know, they've done everything possible.
Everything, yeah.
Shampoo has zero contribution to hair. Whenever you see a shampoo say that I'm an anti-hair fall shampoo, 99% reduction in hair fall. Scam. This is not possible. I would say stay away from it.
চুল পড়া শুধু বাহ্যিক সমস্যা নয়, আত্মবিশ্বাসেও প্রভাব ফেলে, এটাই বুঝেছিলেন সালোনি আনন্দ। যখন কাছের মানুষের চুল পড়ার সমাধান খুঁজছিলেন, তখনই উপলব্ধি করেন শুধু শ্যাম্পু বা তেল নয়, ভেতর থেকে যত্ন নেওয়াটাই আসল সমাধান। এই চিন্তা থেকেই জন্ম হয় ট্রায়া হেলথের আয়ুর্বেদ, ডার্মাটোলজি ও নিউট্রিশন মিলিয়ে কাস্টমাইজ হেয়ার কেয়ার সলিউশন। সালোনি শুধু একটা ব্র্যান্ড তৈরি করেননি, তিনি হাজারো মানুষের আত্মবিশ্বাস ফিরিয়ে দেওয়ার দায়িত্ব নিয়েছেন। ট্রায়ার এই অসাধারণ যাত্রার গল্প শুনুন পডকাস্ট উইথ অরিজিৎ চক্রবর্তীতে।
What is the root causes for the hair loss? और हेयर लॉस तो होता है ना, तो बहुत सारे लोग ये सोचता है कि इसमें इतना क्या बड़ी बात है कि हेयर लॉस के लिए एक कंपनी बन गया है. और सो आई थिंक यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन अस कि व्हाट इज द कॉजेस फॉर हेयर लॉस and how we can restrict it from the hair loss.
I think I'll start with is it such a big deal? And you know, आपने बोला इतना बड़ी बात है क्या? Honestly,
I don't think so, but बहुत लोग सोचता है.
No, as you know, मैं before starting this company, I was on Reddit, and I was every few posts are about hair loss. If you actually go into it and try to read what's happening, right, you will realize that it is not a health issue, it's also a huge psychological impact.
Definitely.
People are depressed, people don't want to go out, people have stopped dating or stopped attending parties. It's a big deal. And only the person who goes through it can understand.
Definitely.
Having said that, it's also becoming a pandemic. थोड़ा साल पहले क्या था कि 50-60 उम्र के लोगों को होता था हेयर लॉस, सबको नहीं होता था. अभी 25 एवरेज एज ऑफ पीपल हु आर गोइंग थ्रू हेयर लॉस आर इन दैट 26-27.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that is true. So in my practice as well, hair loss patients have gone up pretty drastically. Like if I see 10 patients a day, 5 of them are hair loss and most of them are patterned balding or
And
thinning.
I think the psychological problems in generally, the people who are in early ages, they are suffering psychologically much more than the people who are hair loss in
I agree absolutely,
ages.
because you don't expect your 20s to look like that, right? You have to get married, you have to, you know, you're just in your 20s.
Yeah.
Why is it happening? You know, I often hear people say ki, you know, it's genetic, it's part of aging. But if your father had it when he turned 50, why are you having it when you... So it definitely, you are right, it impacts younger people way more than people who are older.
And that is why it is a big deal nowadays, because it is taken for granted ki 50 বছর হয়ে গেছে তো এবার তো টাক পড়বে, you will have hair loss.
আমরা একটু বাংলাতেও বলবো.
Sure. But when you're getting it in 25 years of age, so you come and the first question you ask to the doctor is আমার কেন এরকম হচ্ছে? I don't know anyone around me আর যার এরকম হচ্ছে. But the point is, even if they individually say ki I don't know anyone around me যার এরকম হচ্ছে, every third person that I see is actually complaining of the problem.
So can you tell us that what is the root causes of hair losses?
Sure, I think it's a beautiful question, because always people ask for the solution and not understand why it's happening, right? Medically, there are types of hair loss. The most common type of hair loss in men is male pattern hair loss or androgenic alopecia. What happens in the body is there is a hormone called testosterone that converts to DHT. it is this DHT that goes and attacks the hair follicle. And because of the attack, the hair starts to first thin, and then eventually in every hair cycle, it stops to come. So balding happens. Now, DHT is in every man's body. So DHT is not bad. That's not the problem. The problem is that some people get genetic disposition कि आपका body में आपका DHT जाके बाल पे attack करेगा. Okay. So that is genetic hair loss. Now, this has been there for ages. Your grandfather had it, your father had it, you had it. Grandfather was balding at 70, father was balding at 50, you are balding at 25. So actually, the root causes or the things that impact this hair loss are many things, not just
one factor.
Not one factor.
Yes. So genetic factor would be the most common thing. Like it is seen in scientific studies ki with each successive generation the thinning actually does start earlier. But for nowadays, lifestyle, stress, your normal natural health, all these matters a lot. Okay? Dust, pollution exposure, sun exposure that you're getting from outside.
I want to also know that how the lifestyle affect our hair, and number two, how the pollution and the quality of the water is already affecting our hair quality or hair. It's a cause for the hair loss.
So regarding lifestyle, the major factor that we see nowadays is diet, exercise and stress. So no one is following diet properly. Abhi now that everyone is aware, সবাই বলছে যে না এবারে আমি healthy diet করবো. But the root of the hair loss starts very early. You have had unhealthy diet from your teens to your 20s and your hair loss has started. So now correcting the diet would only be a part of correcting the hair loss. You would have to go for other treatments as well. Only correcting the diet would not help. And regular exercise, because nowadays our lives are all very sedentary. We are sitting at our desks and we are working. Okay, so that's why we are counting steps ki daily 10,000 steps lena hai. So why? Because of this. Because the more you exercise, the more you live healthily, your cells are also healthy that way. Okay? And that would include your hair cells. जितना वो healthy रहेंगे, जैसे DHT के बारे में इन्होंने बोला, so DHT levels will be less. Your body का stress will be less.
And ये क्या सच है कि एक्सरसाइज करने में हमारा बॉडी में ब्लड सर्कुलेशन ज़्यादा होता है और इसके लिए हेयर फॉलिकल में ऑक्सीजन ज़्यादा जाते हैं. सो एक्सरसाइज कैन हेल्प आवर हेयर इन दिस वे. इज इट राइट?
Yes, definitely, but you have to be cautious as well not to overtrain, because an overtraining will alter your hormonal balances and then hair fall might worsen. But a minimum level of exercise, or I would say a moderate level of exercise, is very important. Not just for hair, in all your body tissues, blood supply will go. Okay, and your body tissues will remain healthy.
No, exercise can help in multiple levels. See, one major root cause of hair fall is stress. When you have stress, you have a hormone in your body called cortisol that increases. When you have stress, it spoils your digestion system. Your hormones go haywire. So stress directly impacts your hair. Stress also spoils your digestion, and your gut impacts your hair. So there is a multi-attack that stress does. Now when you go and exercise, it is the fastest and the cheapest way to bring your cortisol levels down. Second is sleep well. So the moment one starts to exercise and starts sleeping well, your stress levels can go down and your hair fall caused due to this can be reduced. In fact, Arijit, I once went to an Ayurveda doctor, and these I'm talking in the early days. The first time I asked an Ayurveda doctor, what is the root cause of hair fall? The answer was beautiful. He said, hair fall or hair loss is not a disease in our scriptures. It's actually a symptom, a sign that your body is communicating and trying to tell you that something inside is wrong.
Yeah.
Your stress, your hormones, your digestion, your metabolism, your absorption in the gut, the nutrition in your body, your hormones, thyroid, PCOS, such conditions. There are multiple things in your body. If anything goes wrong, the first thing that will happen is your hair fall will happen. Or in cases of genetic hair loss, which you have taken in from your father and grandfather, it will go on a 10x speed.
Yes, and it will start early.
It will start early, it will be faster. What should have happened at 50 is now happening at 25. That is the key reason to why it is happening so early.
Okay, so in your company, in Traya, so you're telling that there is so many causes for the hair loss. Okay, right. So definitely there is some person who doesn't have all the causes. There is some causes for some specific persons. Okay, so how you detect that this person have specifically those problems? How Traya detect it?
You have done your research income, Arijit. So, I think that is the biggest problem in the hair industry, that people are selling products. You know, this is magic oil. All of you take it, grow your hair. It is not going to work. And that is why at Traya, we don't give products. The first step is we do an online diagnosis. We call it the hair test. Think of hair test as going and meeting a dermatologist, then an Ayurveda doctor, then a nutritionist. What does a doctor do when you enter her clinic? She will do clinical diagnosis. She will ask you questions. What is happening? Since when it is happening? How is your digestion? Are you sleeping well? Anything else that is going wrong? Do you have dandruff? Acha. She will chit chat with you and try to understand you, your entire health.
The problem.
Exactly.
The root causes.
Yes. The Ayurveda doctor will also have his own set of questions. Like, he would want to know, when you get up, what are your energy levels? You know, how many hours do you sleep in the night? Do you get up in between, or is it a continuous? These are very different inputs for the Ayurveda doctor to him in his science to diagnose what's happening. Right? The nutritionist would want to know, when was the last time you did a blood test? What was your hemoglobin? Do you have any deficiencies, etc., etc. Right? That is what the online hair test does. The interesting piece is, one important thing for a dermatologist is to take a peek at your head. Where exactly is the hair loss happening? Because in allopathy, hair loss happens in pattern. If it is happening here, or it is starting to happen here, then it is pattern. If it is happening somewhere randomly in a coin-size patch, maybe in the beard or here, it is alopecia areata.
Alopecia.
If it is across the head, and the complaint is that it is hair fall. Whenever I move my hand is full of my hair. There is no baldness, it is just falling. It is telogen effluvium. So the doctor will ask more questions. Did something happen in the last 6-8 months? Did you go through dengue or COVID or typhoid? Were you admitted in hospital? This is exactly what the test does. And luckily, in today's world, we all have decent phones where even a picture of the head can be taken. So we do have dermatologists at Traya. First we do is we take the hair test. The technology at Traya designs a customized plan for you based on your root causes.
Okay.
We will tell you, Arijit, what type of hair fall you have, what stage you are on, and if you take this treatment, when will you see results? Then when you start the treatment and you buy the plan, your case along with these detailed photographs will go to an actual doctor.
Okay.
And this doctor will then build your prescription. What dosage, what has to be taken, not taken. If something needs to be changed in the plan, the doctor will do. Once the doctor submits the prescription, the case goes to the packaging team. The packaging team builds your box, puts your prescription, sends the box to your house, and you also immediately after ordering, you get a hair coach.
Okay, hair coach.
Okay.
So I think this is a very unique feature of Traya.
Think of coach as this person who will guide you, follow up with you, and make sure that you reach the finish line. Because hair regrowth is a slow process.
Definitely.
Hair cycle is a slow growing process. Like if one single hair follicle enters falling phase, then it takes at least 3 months to fall out, and then the next hair grows in its place. So whatever medicines we give now, the results will be seen in the next cycle. So then you at least have to wait 3 months to see whether the hair that grows in the next cycle is stronger or not. But people are not willing to wait, especially because you have so many ads on social media. Put this oil, 10 days e thik ho jabe. Put this serum, 15 দিনে ঠিক হয়ে যাবে, 90% বেশি হেয়ার চলে আসবে, but it doesn't happen, and then we have patients who are giving up কি এটা তো আমি 10 days ইউজ করে নিয়েছি, ওটা তো আমি 15 days ইউজ করে নিয়েছি, আমার কোনো কিছুতেই রেজাল্ট হচ্ছে না, my hair thinning is incurable. So then when I tell them, or rather we tell them কি না আপনাকে 3-4 মাস ধৈর্য ধরে এটা ইউজ করতে হবে, and then they're like তাহলে ছেড়ে দিন, আমি এত পারবো না, আমি অন্য কোথাও যাচ্ছি, আমি তাহলে ওই তেলটা ট্রাই করছি, আমি তাহলে এই শ্যাম্পুটা ট্রাই করছি. So that is the major problem that we have for treatment of hair thinning. People are not willing to have patience.
She's absolutely right. I think every doctor I have met in this journey of building this hair company, that this is the biggest problem. They will go to the doctor once. They will face some problem, they will stop the treatment. They will not go back. And we wanted to solve this pain point because here at Traya, the only goal was how many people who start Traya can actually see positive results. Once that became the goal point, it is not about what is the revenue, what is the growth, how many people, how many bottles of shampoo we are selling. That's not our goal. Our goal is if 100 people are starting, out of 100, how many can actually see results? And when you have to solve that problem, right, the entire approach changed. We realized we don't have to be a product company. We have to do a diagnosis, a test. We will need the help of doctors. We will have to set the expectation right. And if people know that it is going to take 5 months, then they actually do it for 5 months.
So basically, there is various grades for the hair loss or baldness. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. So maximum people, I think maximum people are not coming who are already in grade 1. They are in generally coming in grade 2 or grade 3 like that. So on an average, what is the average timing to regrowth of the hair? What is the average required timing, at least for the who are losing hair in the early ages?
So, Arijit, I think, are you trying to ask that which is the right stage to start a treatment?
At first, that could be a good question.
So, 7 stages of hair loss, stage 1 to stage 7. 1 is no balding, but hair has started to thin. Thinning has started. And 7 is absolutely advanced. Whole thing is gone. Okay. I would say the best time to start is 1. It is so easy to prevent and pause your hair loss. And there are proven things that can do that.
So how a patient can able to understand that he or she is, in general he is in the stage 1?
So we do have certain tests which can help you diagnose if your hair has become weaker than before. The most common thing that we do in our clinic, you can also do it at home, basically is something known as a pull test. So what you do in a pull test is you choose the area from where you suspect hair to be thinning. You take at least 50 to 60 strands of hair in between your forefinger and your thumb and you give a gentle pull, okay, on the roots. Okay?
Like that?
Yes. And you see how many hair comes out in your hand. So normally our scalp hair is 90% in growing phase, 10% in falling phase. So around 10% hair can fall out. The ones that are in falling phase have become weak and on a gentle pull they'll come out. So if you're pulling on 50 to 60 hairs, you can get 5 to 6 hairs in your hand normally. That is fine. But more than that, and you can understand that in that area, more than 10% of the hairs have started becoming thin.
The other way, Arijit, is that you pull a hair from here and you pull a hair from behind. Okay? And in your naked eye under a light, you compare the thickness of your hair. Okay, so when you have pattern baldness, it starts either from the forehead or the top of your head here.
To take either the temples or the crown area to check for pattern baldness.
And here the hair are always very good.
Yes.
So when you compare it, and if you feel that with your naked eye, no microscope, no special testing, nothing. With your naked eye, you can see that, oh, one is looking thin and the other is thick diameter. Because the first sign of pattern baldness is the diameter of the hair starts to thin. If you start to see that, along with that, you know that your father is balding. You know your father or grandfather, which means that there is chance that you can get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Genetical bald.
Exactly. So if there is an overlap of these two things, you are a very good candidate to start. If you start early, you can pause, you can reverse, you can do everything. So that's stage 1, right? Coming back to your question, if you are between stage 1 to stage 5, right, the chances that you have active follicle, I'll explain. Follow me. Okay. There is a root. In medical term, the root is called follicle. The hair falls off. The root stays there open, right? Think of a plant. Plant has dried, fallen. Root is still there. If you go to the garden, put water, give sunlight, give everything, a new plant starts to grow because the root inside was alive. Similarly, in our body, the follicles stay alive for some time, for years.
Okay.
After few years, let's say 10, 15 years, depending on age, stage, your health, etc., the follicle seals, closes. Once it is sealed, no treatment in the world, Traya, PRP, nothing, no treatment in the world can give you regrowth.
Okay.
So the second important thing to understand is that the sooner you act on it, the better the regrowth will be. So stage 1 to 5 is what we accept as good customers at Traya to help. If you are 6 and 7 and you take the Traya hair test, the Traya website or app will tell you we cannot sell you, it is too advanced. Most likely your follicles are now sealed. Please go and meet a dermatologist like this and get a hair transplant.
So up to which stages we can avoid the transplant?
At Traya, we have seen very good results with people who are stage 1 to 5
Okay.
and age less than 45.
Yes. that
Age is a
an
very important
point.
factor. If I have a 55-year-old man and he says I am on stage 2, okay, regrow my hair, I will not be very confident because as you grow old, the regenerative capacity of the body goes down. Also, because at Traya, most people are less than 45 who come in, we have a lot of data, lakhs and lakhs of data to now very confidently say that less than 45 and 1 to 5 is what we can help.
Okay. So I think even after the transplant, there is an importance to maintain the hair. So I think, do you think that Traya can help the persons who already transplanted their hair?
Absolutely. In fact, we have a lot of customers who have done transplant and are now coming to Traya. What you said, not a lot of people know this. But because this is a genetic problem, right, it is going to be there till the last day of your life.
Definitely.
Which means Traya is not curing hair loss. Traya is helping you manage it. Right? You will use Traya for 5 months. You will see regrowth. If you stop Traya, the hair loss will return. Just like diabetes. If you stop taking your diabetes medicine, diabetes sugar levels go wrong again. Right? You have to manage it. Similarly, in Traya, after the 5-6 months of treatment, once we see the results, we put people on a maintenance plan where you don't have to buy the whole kit, just a serum, oils, 2 things. And that maintenance ensures that the regrowth stays for longest period of time. As far as you are putting that serum every day, you are fine and you can elongate.
I'll add to that. Let's say you've got loss on the temples. So you're going to transplant your hair over the temples. But in the next 10 years, you're also going to lose hair over your crown area. So
Yeah,
you should
definitely.
be doing something to prevent that as well. Otherwise, you're going to be left with hair here and then balding behind that, which actually happens. I have seen.
I think doctor pointed
cases.
a very good point. I'll tell you an example of a real customer. Right? He came to us where almost all of this was gone.
Okay.
Okay. Now he was on stage 5. It was quite advanced. We started the treatment. We were able to give very good hair regrowth till here. This whole part, regrowth happened. Here near the forehead, regrowth did not happen because his follicles were sealed. Right? Because he was stage 5, very advanced case. We informed him, see, you have used the treatment for 8 months. You have seen, he was very happy to see regrowth here. But this last part near the forehead, the follicles seal very quickly. So now if you want hair on that part also, you can just do a transplant in this area. So it's never this or that.
Yes,
there can
it's
be
a
cases.
complementary.
Yeah. So I think she pointed a very good point.
Transplant is also, painful process is there, I think.
See, I will tell you this way, right? I am not against transplant. It is painful, it is expensive, it is a procedure. After transplant also you have to maintain your hair. It's not like problem solved, right? But I would put it this way that not everybody has to do it.
Yeah.
But for few people, that's the only option and that's the only hope to get your hair back, right? So that's the beauty of transplant. Sometimes I see people in stage 2, stage 3, who will, do all this, apply all this, let me go do a transplant. That is a wrong attitude because you will do a transplant and then again you will act careless and lazy. Who will apply the serum?
As well.
I don't want to do anything. I want to smoke every day, sit every day. I don't want to exercise. all your transplanted lakhs of rupees gone in transplant will also go
Yeah.
in the drain.
So this happens.
You have to maintain whole life.
I get cases who are undergoing second transplant, third transplant, but they're not ready
Definitely.
to use any medication. They're like, na, roj serum lagate parbo na. Then like you will have to go for third and fourth transplant, after which you won't have follicles to transplant. So what do you do then?
In market, there is in general two medicines are vastly prescribed by the doctors. One is minoxidil 5% for the men and probably 2% for the women, and finasteride. And both of the cases there is a huge side effects. So how Traya is trying to avoid those side effects, and how you are doing it or treat it differently?
You know, I will absolutely answer that. You are a very, very well-researched person. But before I answer that, I will ask only one question to the doctor. Doctor, do you prescribe these things in your clinic?
Yes, I do.
Are there big side effects of these things?
In some people, yes, but it's not as scary as
People sounded,
yes.
yeah.
So people would Google and find out side effects, and then
I want to ask one question. I heard that probably minoxidil was not used for the hair treatment at first.
Yeah.
Is probably used for the hypertension patients.
Yes, so it is something that lowers your blood pressure, and then as a side effect, it was found it also grows your hair.
Now it's become the.
So I'll tell you, I'll start with minoxidil, right? Minoxidil is a very, very old molecule. The medicine was discovered back in the 80s. 1980s. It's not that it's very, very new. Okay?
At least 50 years. Though.
50 year plus. Okay? Now, you are right that it was first, there was a tablet given for blood pressure people, and they observed that among those patients, hair regrowth was happening. So then it was, people understood by luck that there is something in this drug that is helping in regrowth. So when people were having those medicines, there were some side effects, like hair coming on other parts of the body, etc., etc. Over the years, the molecule has been transformed in a way that it has come in a serum bottle. It has come in a concentration which is 5%, which is considered absolutely safe to put for hair regrowth. You are not going to get other side effects. There are certain things, and that's why it's a prescription molecule, that if you have a blood pressure problem, right, you should avoid it. If you are planning pregnancy or you are pregnant, you should avoid it. So the beauty about Traya is, number one, we understand you completely before we give you anything. We ask you, every lady that comes, we ask, forget pregnant, we asked, are you thinking about getting pregnant in the next 1 year? Right? Are you married? What is it? What are the other medicines you're having? We understand all this. It goes to a dermatologist. The dermatologist sees all this. So as far as you are putting those guardrails, minoxidil is absolutely safe. It is the most clinically researched molecule, right? As much research has happened on minoxidil, the other molecules on, there is Redencel, Capixil, Procapil.
None of them
They're
have
all new.
so much scientific.
No proofs, right?
So I would like to add something here. Minoxidil gets a bad rep because of certain issues. One, when you start using it, you can get a phase of hair fall. Okay, so that is basically the idea is it is speeding up your hair growth cycle. So a lot of the hairs go into falling phase, fall out and then regrow. So when the hairs are going to falling phase, लोगे भय पे जाए हमार minoxidil लगी सब चूल पड़े गलो. But if you align them beforehand, why it is happening and the fact that it actually means that your hair regrowth is going to happen sooner compared to the people who are not losing hair, they become happy. So that is one thing people are scared of when they come and get prescribed minoxidil. And the other thing is the idea that minoxidil use korle kore jete hobe, you cannot stop minoxidil. But the point is that is true in general for hair thinning. It is a progressive problem, as we have discussed for some time now. It needs to keep on being treated. You need to maintain. So it's not about minoxidil. It is about the disease you're treating which needs maintenance. Not like minoxidil is this evil thing which if you stop, it is going to turn your hair thinning into a very bad position.
See, lakhs and lakhs of men who have genetic hair loss get minoxidil at Traya as a part of their kit. There are multiple things they get. The only side effect that I have seen is in the early days I got itching, some dandruff. That also,
the hair become rough.
that
Little
also
bit.
subsides over a period of time, because you're putting a new serum in your scalp takes 1 week to 10 days to adjust to that, right? So there is no major side effect, number one. And doctor absolutely mentioned, a lot of people say this to us also, that hey, I will not start minoxidil because if you stop it, more hair fall happens. So I tell them this way, imagine you are there, you have hair loss, you have genetic hair loss. Imagine two parallel scenarios. Scenario number one, you don't do anything. No Traya, no minoxidil, nothing. Sit at home and enjoy. Scenario number two, you start for 5-8 months and you stop. And scenario number three, you take the Traya treatment and then you use minoxidil after that. A and B both will lead to balding. And same speed, in B scenario, you will probably see regrowth and then slowly start. So it's not that minoxidil stopping causes more hair fall.
Exactly.
It is like, hey, I went to the gym, I lost weight, I stopped the gym, I went home and I started eating. Because of gym, my weight gain has happened. Because I stopped. That's the same.
For the other medicine like finasteride,
Finasteride.
there is so many serious problems. I heard that sexual health
Yes.
and others.
Yes.
That
So
can be affected.
finasteride, topical finasteride, which is applying in the scalp, has no side effects.
Okay.
But the finasteride that actually a lot of doctors prescribe
0.5 mg.
Is a tablet. Now, there is a small chance, and that too, I think a doctor would know the right number, but at clinical trial level, it has been proven that 0.01% people can get a sexual health problem due to finasteride. Because of this reason, we do not prescribe finasteride tablets in Traya at all. So, Traya treatment doesn't have any finasteride. We are an online company, and our goal was how can we stay as much safe for customers' health, then use this, and we were able to deliver results without it. So we stayed away from it. The problem with this thing is that the moment you get to know that there can be a sexual health problem, sexual health problems are mostly psychological. The person will Google, he will say, oh, if I'm eating this, I'm going to have a problem. The problem will happen. So that's the bigger problem. Then actually, I would not blame the medicine much.
No, the medicine is more or less safe to take. As you said, the side effect profile is quite low. But yes, I think it is better if you go for something like finasteride, which has the chance of side effect. You talk to a doctor and get it sorted first.
Yeah.
You start with safer treatments and see how much you get. And nowadays, topical finasteride is there, and topical finasteride gives, like in the long run, close to as good a result as oral finasteride.
सो इन टुडेज era, आज का जो ये ई कॉमर्स या क्विक कॉमर्स का जो दिन है, सो बहुत सारा देयर इज लॉट ऑफ पीपल जो डिलीवरी करते हैं और दे आर यूजिंग हेलमेट थ्रू आउट द डे. ओके, सो डू यू थिंक दैट सम आई हर्ड फ्रॉम वेरियस फ्रेंड्स दैट अरे भाई हेलमेट के लिए हेयर लॉस हो गया मेरा, ठीक है. सो इज इट राइट दैट हेलमेट कैन यूजिंग ओवर मीन्स मोर देन 5-6 hours in a day using helmet, that could be a cause for the hair loss, and if it is, how could they can able to avoid it?
হেলমেট নিয়ে প্রচুর কোয়েরি আসে. আই থিঙ্ক অলমোস্ট ডেইলি 1 or 2 পিপল কাম যারা বলে যে হেলমেট পরে আমার চুল পড়ে যাচ্ছে. সো হেলমেট ইজ নট ডাইরেক্টলি রেসপন্সিবল ফর হেয়ার লস লাইক দ্যাট, বাট দেয়ার আর সার্টেন প্রিকশনস দ্যাট ইউ ক্যান টেক ওয়েন ইউ ইউজ হেলমেট সো দ্যাট ওটা থেকে ফার্দার প্রবলেমস না হয়. মেজর যেটা হয়, অনেকক্ষণ যদি কেউ হেলমেট পরে থাকে তাহলে চুলের ভেতর সোয়েটিং হয়, অয়েল প্রোডাকশন হয়, অ্যান্ড ইট রিমেন্স ট্র্যাপড দেয়ার. নর্মালি যদি হেলমেট ছাড়া থাকে তাহলে ওই ঘামগুলো উড়ে যায় হাওয়ার সাথে, বাট ইফ ইউ ওয়ারিং আ হেলমেট ইট ইজ ট্র্যাপড দেয়ার অ্যান্ড ইট ইজ গোইং টু ক্লগ ইয়োর ফলিকলস, ইট ইজ গোইং টু ক্রিয়েট ইনফ্লেমেশন, dandruff, and any scalp condition which creates inflammation, dandruff can lead to hair loss in the long run. So regular helmet portion, it is getting trapped, it is leading to dandruff, it is causing hair loss. And apart from that, if you're wearing a very tight helmet, তাহলে চুলের এই যে সাইডের এরিয়াগুলো এটার উপরে টান পড়ে and you start thinning from the edges of your hairline. This is typically known as traction alopecia. যারা টেনে চুল বাঁধে মেয়েরা, তাদেরও হয় এই জায়গাটা থেকে. So these two factors can definitely be avoided. একটু হালকা লুজ ফিটিং হেলমেট ইউজ করুন, use a cotton handkerchief or something to cover
Okay.
your scalp so that ওই sweat আর sebum যেটা trapped হচ্ছে that gets absorbed
Like cricketers
properly.
are using.
Yes, so that is why they use, because they have to wear it. আর ওদের ক্ষেত্রে তো appearance আরো বেশি ম্যাটার করে। And মাঝে মাঝে হেলমেটটা রোদে দিয়ে একটু শুকাবেন, পাউডার দিয়ে ড্রাই করে রাখবেন।
Hygiene of the helmet.
Yes. So hygiene is the major cause behind a lot of these myths, like কি এটা থেকে হেয়ার ফল হয়, ওটা থেকে হেয়ার ফল হয়, বেসিক্যালি ডাইরেক্টলি নয়, ওটার জন্য যে হাইজিনের প্রবলেম হয় বিকজ অফ দ্যাট হেয়ার ফল হয়।
In fact, we discussed causes, but we missed this one. Dandruff also is a very important cause. If you have genetic hair loss and you have scalp issues, dandruff, it can also increase the rate. So at Traya, when somebody has dandruff, first month, the goal or the main thing that we solve is first their dandruff. So a lot of people think, oh, pollution is causing hair fall, my water is causing hair fall, I need to use Bisleri water to, mineral water to clean my, hair fall is a very, very internal problem, right? More than the water and pollution, if you keep your scalp clean, no dandruff, and internally if you keep yourself healthy, that's the best solution to manage
So
it.
I want to ask you that there is so many people who are right now using water purifiers or mineral waters to
I know.
after shampoo. Okay, is it required actually?
We never tell someone at Traya to change the water. And a lot of people come to us, hey, I have moved to Kolkata, suddenly my hair loss is happening, what do I do? It's the water that is causing my hair loss. And a lot of times people don't realize when you're shifting homes, the stress level is high, the sleep is not good. At home, maybe you are in a small town, you are living with your parents eating good home food. Now you are going out and eating biryani on the streets, right? They are not looking at all that. They are saying it's the water that is causing my hair loss. But once you understand that hair loss causes are externally dandruff, yes, but other than that, everything internal, your gut, your nutrition, your sleep, your stress, the moment you understand that, you need to fix those things and not worry about your water.
And how in general the common diseases we have like hypertension, blood sugar, so are those actually affect our health of the hair?
So I think the most common problem that we see in men that impacts hair directly is thyroid. So thyroid is definitely connected. In fact, Traya has an Ayurvedic herb mix called Thyrosantulan, which are herbs given to people who have thyroid. We also have a specific diet plan for people who have thyroid and come to Traya for hair loss. In female, honestly, Arijit, it's way more complicated because as women, there are a lot of
other hormonal issues that come into play.
PCOS, postpartum, perimenopause. All these are, phases in a female's life where hormones go up and down.
And every time hormones go up and down, your hair cycle is disturbed, hair fall is going to happen, it might worsen the hair thinning as well. So these times when you're getting these problems, let's say when you're first getting a thyroid problem, you're developing hypothyroidism. So that time your hair cycle is disturbed and your hair thinning starts. Maybe you have treated the thyroid part, you're now okay with the thyroid, you're taking medicine or you're doing lifestyle changes, you're okay. But the hair thinning once started does not stop. Okay, so along with treating the thyroid, if you are worried about the hair thinning, you have to treat it separately with medicines directed towards the hair thinning.
So from one of my friend, I saw a Traya box. Okay, so I'm very interested to know what you actually sent to your patients in this box.
Okay, so Traya in Sanskrit means three science. So Traya is mixing Ayurveda, allopathy, dermatology and nutrition. Three things coming together and all three things are in the box. Okay, so first thing that we give in the Traya box is a serum. Okay, this serum is prescribed or coming from the dermatology angle. This could be a minoxidil, redensyl, capexil, procapil. There are multiple serums that we have. We will decide for your stage and type of hair fall which serum is suited. Okay. So one is serum. Second is we might give you a supplement. It could be a multivitamin because we feel that you have nutritional problems, or it could be a very specific supplement based on your health issues. For example, if you have constipation, there will be gut shuddhi. If we feel that your energy levels are low, then according to Ayurveda, absorption in gut has to be cured. So there is a herb mix called Health Tattva. We have Thyrosantulan for thyroid. We have multiple such things. There is a herb mix called Hair Ras, which is like, think of it as Chamanprash for hair.
Okay.
Everything good for your hair. Amla, Shatavari, Bhringraj, Arjuna increases your blood circulation. It is all mixed together and prepared a mix and given to you. So based on what is happening in your body, we will decide what is the highest priority to fix. And that herb mix will go. So that is Ayurveda. Then third, there will be a shampoo.
Okay.
Now the shampoo will be for dandruff if you have dandruff. If you have dandruff, that is our first priority to help you with that. If not, it would be a normal shampoo. There will be an oil. The oil is also from the Ayurveda doctor. We make customized oil based on the scalp type. So if stress is there, then stressed ke liye oil rahega, dandruff ke liye oil rahega, sleep ke liye oil rahega. If you have sleep issue, we have a product called nasal ghrith, which is a nasal ghee drop. You put it at bedtime and sleep, it will put you for 8 hours, it will give you good sleep and it has no side effects. It's absolutely pure ghee with a herb mix that puts you to good sleep.
Okay.
So there is something at Traya for every root cause that causes hair fall. And our goal is not just to work on your hair. Of course, the dermatology pieces are coming to work on your hair, but the Ayurveda pieces are internally making you healthier so that your body can get long-term results. Right? And that's how the two come together. And third, of course, is the diet plan. So we will give you a customized diet plan. You can go on the Traya app. You are vegetarian, non-vegetarian, Bengali, North Indian, South Indian. You will have a diet plan so that we can help you further get results faster. And we have seen customers who follow the diet actually get better or faster results than people who don't follow it.
Means Traya is giving the combination of options available we have in the mankind technology. Means Ayurveda, dermatology and also the nutrition or diet. Okay. So every entrepreneur have their own personal connections to start a business. So what is your story? Please share with us.
So my husband and I were doing our normal work. We had no idea that we will start a company like Traya. And he got a very bad hypothyroidism problem.
Okay.
His thyroid dosage went to the maximum point. We went to every endocrinologist in Bombay. It was not getting control, not coming under control. And that's when we decided that, hey, we need to focus on health. We took a break. We started researching. He's a biomedical background. So he comes from research background, went into research of what to do for thyroid. For the first time, we realized that we will have to go beyond allopathy because we were doing everything that allopathy had to offer for thyroid. We started exploring Ayurveda. Did not understand. It's very complicated. Every Ayurveda doctor says different things. They give you some powder in some puri. We would come home and put it in the dustbin. We would not eat it. Eventually, we found one Ayurveda doctor that we could actually believe in, and more importantly, he explained us the science. And he told us, you don't want to eat my medicines, don't eat. But can you 100% follow my diet? And he designed a diet plan to solve the problems in his body. High uric acid, high hypothyroidism. And once we started doing his diet, in 3 months, his thyroid level for the first time in 2 years came under control. We went back to him. We said, this is great. We will also eat your herbs. We started eating his herbs. 5 months down the line, his thyroid level came almost to, from 125 microgram, his medication was to 25. Right? Even the doctor was shocked. During this process, his hair regrew. Now, he was on minoxidil forever. He was doing PRP forever. But the kind of regrowth that happened in this 5 months never happened before. So we went back to the doctor and we said, how is this regrowth happening? He said, it's obvious. If your body is healing within, your hair has to come back, right? And we went back to our life. We adopted this holistic living in the house, the diet and everything. And almost 2 years later, we realized that everyone is coming to us and asking, how did you grow your hair? And then we say, hey, go to an Ayurveda doctor, go to dermatologist, go get this diet. We are giving them numbers of the doctors, but our friends are not going.
Too much of a bother.
People don't even go to a dermatologist, forget going to 3 doctors.
Definitely.
Right? They just want to add to cart, buy something from Amazon and get one oil at home and hope that it will get solved. It doesn't get solved that way, right? And that's when we felt that there is not a single clinic or a single place where the 3 experts are sitting on one table and saying, we will solve your problem. And we understand each other. Right? And that's the first sort of vision that we started with. Can the 3 sciences be made compatible? And can there be one place where the objective is very clear that with honesty, we want to regrow hair? Right? And if you understand there's diet, there's all of this, because that was the thought process of starting. Honestly, we thought we will start a thyroid company, but we started a hair loss. But yeah, that's the story.
Oh, that's fantastic. So many people are believing that there is home remedies can solve this problem. But I believe that this is actually not so easy. So what's your opinion about that?
I think Dr. Debutri will here share the science. But honestly, if home remedy or oiling could solve a problem, then there should not be bald men in India. We are one country in this world that oils like no one else. Right? It's so deeply rooted in our tradition. But we are balding as much as everyone else. Right?
So basically, hair oils have a place in hair thinning treatment, sure, but they do not solve either the external or the internal actual problem which goes into hair thinning. So what can hair oil do? If you put oil in your hair, you massage it through. You can moisturize your hair, great. You can have a massage that would lead to improved blood circulation, which would lead to more nutrients coming to the hair roots, which would lead to hair growth. Then your hair texture will improve, because nowadays, because of dust and pollution, our hair textures have all become very bad. So if we put oil on the hair, it is going to protect it from the dust and pollution and keep your hair shiny and nice and reduce breakage. So these are the benefits that you do get from hair oil. But hair oils usually do not penetrate inside the follicle. The follicle that we have been talking about all along is responsible for hair thinning. So if it doesn't get inside the follicle, it doesn't do anything to actually improve the growth.
Yeah,
the root cause actually.
Yeah, so I think I would put it this way. Even Traya has a oil in every kit, right? Oil is good. It gives the nourishment. It's not enough alone to regrow your hair.
Definitely. And I think that there is, due to marketing of some other brands, there is a misinformation in between the people that there is no way to regrowth of the hair except the transplant. So I think as an entrepreneur, what is your opinion in this matter?
Absolutely, I think, and I don't blame people, right? You try one thing, it doesn't work. You try second thing, it doesn't work. You try third thing, it doesn't work. People who are suffering have put in so much money in oils, shampoos, hair masks, what not. They have put onion on their head and what not. They've done everything possible.
Everything, yeah.
Nothing has worked. So they start believing that hair loss cannot be, hair regrowth is not possible. When I put a story in Traya, when we put a story of someone seeing hair regrowth, we generally request our customers to sometimes come and share their stories. The most common comment is scam. This is not possible. This is false regrowth. That is the most common comment, which tells me only one thing, that people are disbelievers. And I understand where they are coming from, but the problem is that they have not understood this problem, right? And that's why I'm thankful that people like you are creating this awareness, because the moment they'll understand the science, the causes, why it's happening and what can help them, they'll realize that it's better to drink or eat or make changes in your diet than to apply onion on your head. right? So they'll understand why whatever they have tried so far has not worked, and they should probably take
magic oil.
Yeah, there is no magic oil. So probably they need to meet the experts and go with a scientific approach rather than the fancy products available.
I generally see that there is so many hoardings that hair fall control shampoo, etc. Is it really shampoo can stop the hair loss or hair fall?
I have been asked this question so many times, especially with people, right? Shampoo has zero contribution to hair regrowth. It neither causes nor helps.
But they are claiming through the hoarding that they are actually.
See, I'll tell you, I'll explain the whole claims piece, but I think I would like Dr. Debutri to also answer. Do you ever prescribe shampoo for regrowth?
So because of all this marketing thing, the first thing, as you said, people come and ask for hair fall is please write a shampoo and please write an oil which will stop my hair fall. And then if I tell ki there is no specific shampoo for hair fall, they don't believe me. So they say ki no, you don't know anything, आपका prescription incomplete है, हम दूसरे doctor के पास जाएंगे. So along with minoxidil and other stuff, sometimes yes, we do have to add on shampoo. If there is an actual problem like dandruff, so then adding on a shampoo is necessary to reduce the inflammation. And also I would say shampoo in some cases helps with just maintaining the hair texture in general. So if you're using an overly harsh shampoo for your scalp, or you're using too mild a shampoo and your scalp is not getting clean, so those times we can add on shampoos. But in regular use, changing shampoo doesn't help with hair fall in any way. It's only cleaning the hair. It's not doing anything to the roots.
Okay.
Absolutely. So the role of shampoo is to clean and maybe make you feel good that day. Volume, silky,
hair looks nice.
Fresh, all of that. Right? Hair fall is not cosmetic problem. It is a medical problem. It is an inside problem. And I think we've discussed this for such a long time. Coming back, Arijit, to your claims piece, right? Whenever you see a shampoo say that I am an anti-hair fall shampoo, 99% reduction in hair fall, right? How they do this is they go and do some study, and the study lets them put a claim like this. The study is done on something called as hair breakage and not hair fall, right? So what they will do is they'll take shampoo, and against it they will take a non-conditioning shampoo, which means think worst shampoo in the world, which will not make your hair silky.
Very strong one.
Strong one, no conditioning agent. It's written in the study, non-conditioning shampoo. They make the candidate wash hair with their shampoo and with the non-conditioning shampoo. And after both rounds, they make the person comb the hair. It's called combing test. On the white paper, they will measure or count how many broken hair pieces have fallen. So if the shampoo puts a conditioner and it makes your hair very silky and nice, obviously your hair will not break when you're combing. But when you take a very rough, bad shampoo, your hair gets entangled. And because of that, your hair starts breaking from between. So you take any shampoo that has a claim, there will be a star mark. Turn the bottle and below in the star mark will be written, study done on hair breakage, or they will write hair fall means hair breakage.
But hair fall doesn't mean hair breakage.
And they will not write hair breakage anywhere on the cover. The cover will be anti-hair fall shampoo, backside small font, hair fall means hair breakage.
Okay.
So it's that big a problem, and this is so normal. This has been happening for years.
But I have a tough question that Traya also claimed that they solved the problem of more than 90% of the customer. So as a user, how can we believe that your claim is actually right?
Very good point. I think the only way is to, as a consumer, understand and ask questions, right? And expect transparency from brands, right? So there are all types of studies and everybody puts a claim, right? But there are different qualities of study, right? For example, at Traya, we have recently completed a clinical trial. This clinical trial was done on actual humans, right? So it was not on a piece of swatch, etc. This trial was done with 135 people. A lot of brands put studies done on 20 people. Okay, so second is number of people in the study. Third is duration of the study. Our study was done for a period of 6 months, right? Some brands do 3 washes, 15 days.
6 months is a minimum.
Exactly. For genuine regrowth to happen, you have to study the product for 6 months, right? So the duration. Number 4 and most important, when a brand says, I can reduce hair fall by 50% or I'm 50% better, then what? What are you comparing it with? Right? So most brands do something called baseline studies, which means they don't compare to anything else. They say that we took people and whatever they had hair fall before starting, after using our product, it has reduced.
Okay.
But what if they had not used the product? A lot of hair falls actually can heal by itself. So it's very important. In scientific terms, it's called a comparison, right? So compared to what? So in Traya, we divided people in 3 groups. One group we gave a placebo. Placebo means water. The people don't know it. They think they are getting medicine.
Okay,
but we put water. Now that becomes a benchmark. The second group we gave 5% minoxidil, which is a gold standard in dermatology because it's the most efficacious molecule. And in the third group, we gave the Traya customized kit, which may or may not have minoxidil, but also along with minoxidil had our Ayurveda, the supplements, the diet, everything. And we wanted to see that what is the delta or how much better Traya is than just using a minoxidil, right? And the study took us 2.5 years to complete. This was a third-party study done by a CRO, clinical research organization, third party. It was a double-blinded study, which means Traya had no understanding what was happening for 2 years. Even the candidates who were part in the study didn't know it was a Traya study. So this also is it's called grade 1 study. So there are types of studies, right?
Okay.
So double-blinded, long duration, 135 people, a placebo benchmark, and then it's a proper clinical trial which the results of the study was that Traya delivers 3x better results than just using minoxidil when used for 6 months. And these were for genetic hair loss, right? And there were photographs of regrowth, etc. So there's this whole clinical trial done. Now the only people who do these kind of trials are pharma companies, right? And no wonder doctors like to write in their prescription pharma products, then,
They have proof.
Because they have proof, right? And legally, the cosmetic world is not obliged to do such studies. In fact, I would say the good brands are doing some study, even if they are home test study. Some brands don't even do studies. They just go to the manufacturer and say, "Kya milega?" You literally, the first time I went to make a shampoo, the manufacturer gave me a booklet. If you put this ingredient, this is the claim you can put on your shampoo bottle. Put B ingredient, B claim. C ingredient, there's a menu.
Okay.
If I put onion extract so and so, I can claim so and so. So it's not my study. It's the person who's making the extract, his study, and all the brands will put it on the bottle and say 99% reduction in hair.
Got it.
So I think, I would just put it this way for consumers that question things. I'm hoping that the norm of this industry will change as we progress. The easiest thing is to not fall for trends. Glass skin, glossy hair, onion, rosemary. If something is trending and all brands are building that product,
Then that must be.
stay away from it.
That's what people think. Then that must be useful.
Yeah, I would say stay away from it. That's the easiest a consumer can do to not fall in traps.
So I think that as an entrepreneur, you're very much involved in Traya. So the hair regrowth is also emotional, moments for the patients. So can you share any your experience like that? Patients become very emotional after the result.
Yeah. I remember the first 55 customers that Traya got in 2019. I and my co-founder were the hair coach, right? One of them cried on the phone. right? Even today, luckily, because I meet people, I get to meet customers. So I remember this customer, Kavita, and I can take her name because she loves that. She is absolutely okay with me taking her name. She met me, she hugged me, and she cried and she thanked, and I felt like I don't deserve it, but I realized how much it means to me, it means to her when she said that, hey, I just got a fracture and I had an accident and I was on the bed. So I said, I'm so sorry, I hope you're feeling better now, you went through so much. She's like, what is all this? Now I have full set of hair. Any problem I will get in my life, I'll be able to overcome.
Confidence.
Yeah, she's like, ये problem आपने solve कर दिया ना, अभी ये सब कुछ भी होगा हम देख लेंगे life में. And that made me realize that, oh my God, the positivity that is in her life just because she got her hair back. There's one more guy, Yasin, I can take his name also. He has started going out and meeting people. He started attending functions.
Yeah.
He's become more social. There are people who come back to me and say, when I'm seeing them after 6-8 months, it's like, your hair have come very good. They're also looking very good. Like they're more fit, they have body. And then I say, hey, you're looking very good. Oh, I lost 8 kgs. He said, how did you lose 8 kgs? Traya has nothing for weight loss. You know what? When my hair started to grow now, I thought, let's start gym. So I started, I think what hair does is it puts you from a bad place to that good track. You become disciplined with your sleep, with your diet, you start going to the gym, you care about how you look, you start working out, you just come in that good frame of mind where you want to really take control of your life. I think that is what even, you started the podcast with, is it a big deal? That's how big it's a deal.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I have, I think, 1 or 2 patients who were like, baal nahi hai, shaadi nahi ho raha hai, and then they came back after 1 year saying, now we have got married.
Okay. So, another thing is that the people who doesn't have any problem, so is there any option to use the Traya to maintain their present condition of the hair?
So I personally don't have any hair fall problem, right? But 8 months in 1 year, I eat hair rus. So hair rus is a mixture of herbs that improve your hair quality. It's good for your hair. It's like Chamanprash for hair. Amla, Bhringraj, so that's something that you can take. You can take the Traya oil to ensure your scalp is nice, you don't face any dandruff, etc. You can definitely use a recap serum, especially if you're seeing some level of hair fall, right? Sometimes it's seasonal, sometimes it's just a small stress period in your life and you see some hair fall. So recap serum is a very mild serum. You can use even if you are during your pregnancy. I used it when I was pregnant as well. It's a plant-based serum that uses a mixture of actives like Redensyl, Capexil, Procapil, and it's absolutely safe to use. So yeah, these are 2-3 things. Again, shampoo not important.
Okay.
Use whatever shampoo you want.
So, after so many discussions about the hair or hair fall, I want to ask you that share something about your entrepreneurship journey, your personal experience, and you shift your journey from job to entrepreneurship. Please share with us.
I think it's a very tough. We were just speaking before the chat started. For anyone who wants to start something, right? It's a very tough journey. You don't know what is at the end of the tunnel. It's very unpredictable. You don't have a boss who will come and say good job, right? You are on your own. It's lonely. And hence, it is very, very important that you are very clear why you are starting it, right? So, for me and my co-founder, we were very clear that, hey, we are starting this to grow hair like nobody else. We were very clear that in the market, nobody can grow hair like our formulations. We did the 55 people understanding data collection that, hey, can Traya actually grow hair? Only then we will start, otherwise we'll shut and go back home. Right? During this journey, there were people who told us, nobody is going to buy this. Why don't you sell shampoos on Amazon? Right? And we said, hey, if that's the case, we'll shut and go home. Because we were very clear why we have started this company. The joy came in every time a customer saw results. So even in the early days where there was a time where our monthly revenue was 30,000 rupees. And we both, husband and wife, had left our jobs to start this. We never felt sad that, hey, it is just 30,000 rupees, the revenue of the company, right? In those 5 customers, we got phone calls where they were like, thank you so much, our hair have come. We were top of the world. So even that tough early years didn't feel tough to us because we derived so much joy that we are actually solving a problem that exists.
From the first you started it in online mode.
Yes, because it's a very interesting question. When we put together the formulations and did the study and we saw the results, we felt that, hey, if it requires to put up clinics, we'll put up clinics. If it requires to be online, we'll put online. Whatever it takes. The goal is to solve hair loss problem for the nation, right? COVID happened.
Okay.
And luckily, dermatologists were open to doing things online, right? Because COVID literally changed the perspective. People were also okay to come online and get treatment.
Definitely.
So that really helped us to put an online system to this, the whole technology to this. And I think if this was not online, the impact that we created would have been very small, right? Because today with Traya, there are about 50 dermatologists. But just because it is online, the amount of patients or cases they see per day basis is large.
How many patients you already treated?
I think in total we would have treated more than 10 to 12 lakh people now.
And
which is not possible if this is not online.
Definitely. So have you any plan to open offline clinic also?
Yes, in fact, we've opened in Pune. We've opened a Traya Experience Center where a dermatologist is there as well. And the idea here is we do get a lot of people sometimes who say that I understand this works, but I want to talk to someone, meet someone before I start. Right? And when that happens, offline is required. The idea of online is also that how can we make it easiest for the person to get started. Right? We want to take away the friction. Oh, I will book an appointment, then I will go to the dermatologist, then dermatologist will write a prescription, then I'll have to buy, come home. Second time, nobody will go to the doctor. Right? So, all those issues are there in that system, right? Just the sheer number of dermatologists in India are very few compared to the people who are facing hair loss. Right? So how do you ensure that every person who is facing hair loss stops using a anti-hair fall shampoo or a oil and starts taking a medical treatment? I think online is the only solution.
If the treatment of Traya doesn't work in the patient, so have you any policies কি ওদের যদি কিছু না হয় তাহলে তারা তখন কি করবে? What they will do after that?
So we have something called the money back guarantee. What we do here is because we take a hair test, first of all, we get to choose our customers, which means if you are advanced case of hair loss, let's say stage 5 and 6, the Traya website will then and there tell you, please, you cannot buy from Traya, you are advanced stage.
Okay.
Or there are certain other health conditions where our doctors feel that we cannot treat you, right? You take the hair test, you place the order, your case goes to a dermatologist. Each doctor has a button on the screen where they write the prescription, which is called refund.
Okay.
So if the doctor feels that this is not a good candidate for treatment, they can press the button refund. It will cancel the order, refund your money back then and there, and you will get a message, sorry, the Traya doctor has decided that you are not going to see much benefit from this treatment, so we are cancelling your order and refunding your money. So we have put these guardrails so that we get the right candidate into our system, first of all.
Okay.
Number 2, if you use the treatment properly, we have certain milestones. It's month 2, month 3, month 4. Okay, there are certain early markers, right? Is your digestion improving? Is your dandruff solved? Is the hair fall stopped or reduced? Etc. etc. If that is not happening, we will, in the month 2, month 3 itself, the hair coach will be in touch. We will tweak the treatment. We will sometimes create a dermatologist intervention, change the prescription. So we will be working along with you. It's not like the first box didn't work for me, means Traya doesn't work. Our job is, we'll do everything possible to make sure that we can help you during this treatment. So there are very edgy cases, but we also sometimes tell the customer, or the doctor wants the customer to go and take a blood test, because the doctor suspects that there is something hidden in this case which is not coming out, and we need to do a certain blood test. So we'll do everything possible during this 5 months, provided that by 5th month or 8th month or 12th month, it depends based on your age and stage of hair loss, we will tell you whether it will take 5 months, 8 months. We have a lot of data to now predict, right? When will you see results with Traya? If you use it till that time and you don't see any benefit, you can apply for a money back guarantee.
Okay.
And all the money that you have given to Traya till date will be returned to you as it is, because we have not been able to help.
Okay. So definitely it's a very good experience to shoot a podcast with you. আর যেহেতু বাংলার চ্যানেল, আপনাদের যদি চুল সংক্রান্ত কোনো আরও সমস্যা থাকে আপনারা ডেফিনেটলি কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন, অ্যান্ড উইল ডেফিনেটলি ট্রাই টু শুট ওয়ান্স এগেন অ্যানাদার পডকাস্ট। আর অবশ্যই আমরা আশা রাখবো যে আপনাদের যাদের যদি চুল সংক্রান্ত কোনো সমস্যা থাকে, আপনারা ট্রায়ার যে অ্যাপটি রয়েছে সেটি ইনস্টল করে সেখানে গিয়ে আপনাদের জীবনের এই সমস্যার সমাধান করতে পারবেন। আজকের জন্য এখানেই শেষ করছি। নমস্কার।